Welcome everyone to episode 75 of Just Joshing. I am your host, Joshua Penteleresco. I write stuff, I podcast too, and I'm proud to announce this is the first episode that will be on iTunes. Official, brand new. So iTunes, welcome. I hope you enjoy the show. I hope you have a good time. I hope you subscribe because this show is awesome. Not just because I say so, but maybe I am a little biased. Okay. So I kind of have a take on the first week of the presidential office that I'm reminded of whenever I see things like this. When I was a kid, I lived in Ontario, and then during the 80s, these foreign nations were coming in, and they were getting stuff paid for them, housing, starting jobs, things of that nature. Back when I was a kid, and at the time, everybody was getting angry. Why are these people getting these opportunities? Blah. Why this? Why that? Why this? When I got older and wiser, I realized that isn't the question I should have asked. The question is what is the why? Not why are they getting the jobs, but why are they divvying up the opportunities? You can't blame anyone for seeking a living. You can blame the system itself, though, for setting the lack of parity, because what everybody wants is equal opportunity. I could comment about a zillion different things about this current regime, and for all I've seen, I could honestly tell you that for me, the only thing that makes sense. I hate you guys so much right now. The only thing that makes sense at this moment in time is divide and conquer. Right? Get everybody worked up, get everybody outraged, get everybody angry, depressed, despondent, vicious, and then do what you're going to do, because now everybody's fractured, because everybody's feeling their own wounds and aren't communicating with each other anymore. That is the only thing that makes sense about this. I'm not going to offer any magical solutions here other than this. Be kind to each other. Because being kind to each other and treating each other like your people, you cannot let any regime come in. This is basic psychology. This is the most abrasive, base version of this I've ever seen, but this has been done in the U.S. for a long time. This one is just the most flagrant I've ever seen. To counter this, is simply treat people with respect, treat people with kindness, give people the opportunities based on what they work. I'm going to do something at the end of the show I haven't actually done, because I want to talk about the Women's March too. So you want to stick around to the end of the show for that, you can. But I'm going to get to my guests. Katie Sauce, Jason Lavelle of Spilling Ink. You guys gave me an opportunity to come on your show. I am returning the favor. Katie is she is probably one of the most incredibly hardest working people I've ever seen. She's got lots of books in romance and young adult. Jason Lavelle is one of the funniest dudes I've ever interviewed. This is probably the goofiest interview I've ever done. It's pretty goofy, but we had a blast. I encourage you guys, if you're writers, to check out Spilling Ink. They air every week on YouTube. Just look them up. They're there. They're great. All right, we're going to get to the commercials and get to the interview right after these messages. Called A Familiar Story Told in a Brand New Way, The Watcher is about a slave boy who kills his dragon masters and goes into a post-apocalyptic wasteland, discovering that there's more to life than being a slave. The Watcher is book 1 of the Watcher saga, which has book 2, Storm Dancer, and the concluding saga, The Wandering God, will be out later this year. It is available at mirrorworldbooks.com, amazon.com.ca, Barnes & Noble, Chapters Indigo, and any other online bookstore you can think of. Very interesting stuff in regards to helping people with addiction, and she just had one of those really dark days. I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with any like addicts in the family. I hope not, but if you have, you know, when you're trying to help them recover, they have some really, really dark moments, and she's been around that for a while. She just needs to get out. And today,
You're my second podcast today, and the first podcast I got offered to possibly do a YouTube show down the road, and I'm accidentally doing a comic book.
Nice. That's sweet.
So that's been my day. So I haven't had time to really play with the YouTube, which is why we're doing it here. I hope you guys understand. So my next book's going to be The Cloud Diver, and that's the next book that's going to be coming out for me in the summertime. And I met my artist today about it, and it turns out he's got all these comic book pages about a redheaded. I have a redheaded girl with that uses swords and a gun blade basically to hack. Better.
No, I was pointing at Katie because you were talking about a redheaded girl, but now I realize that she's probably not positioned on your screen the way she is on mine.
Yes. So
Yes.
So now a marble method. I'm doing a marble method on the comic. So she's already drawn this comic, he drew it a long time ago, but it actually ironically fits the story I'm doing now. So I might be doing as a bonus for the website a actual origin story in a comic book / prose form, depending on what he has finished. I don't know what he's got finished. I'm just getting that stuff tonight, but it's an interesting challenge because I'm going to see if I can do it without him adding any more art to it.
What are you doing, Jason?
He's
I was taking a selfie with you guys.
It's all good.
So, can you tell me, because I don't actually know, what is a Marvel method?
Okay, so when you do a comic, right, generally speaking, I would write a full script, which is essentially instructions for an artist on how to construct a story. And there's some dialogue included in there as well, but by and large, it's basically to tell the artist what to draw, right? Or give them an idea what to draw, depending on how good the artist is. And a Marvel method is that the stuff's already drawn. So now it's up to me to put the words together to actually make it fit the story that wants to be told. What's interesting? So what's interesting about when Stanley was in the '60s would do something like 10 to 20 books a month, which if you even though a comic strip is a lot less dense than say a short story, even a short story, that's still a lot of words a month to do a full proper script to. So what he would do is he'd go to his artist, you draw something, and I'll put the words in later. I'll do the dialogue when I see the story, and it creates some really interesting stories as a result. Because again, with comic books are like an art form where the artist is the one doing the most of the heavy lifting with the story, and then the words are there basically to enhance the product. It's a melding of mediums, but it's definitely very, very, very picture heavy, right? So this case here is he did this comic as a just for his own personal amusement. He's an insane man. That's what can I say? But it fits the story I'm working on, and the story I'm telling now. It fits as a prequel to one of the characters in the story, and I actually thought like he brought this up. It's like, hey, listen, I got all these pages I normally would just chuck away, but we could do something with them. I'm like, okay, sure. And he goes, I can draw new ones. Like, no, don't. Instead of doing I'm gonna see if I can do it. And if there's any real gaps in the story, I'll actually prose those parts. It'll be an interesting experiment and an interesting freebie also, because it's going to be a true mix of mediums.
Cool deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never done it before, but I've never let that stop me in the past. What can I say? So how you guys doing tonight?
Just dive into the deep end, right?
Well, it's the best way to learn, honestly. Most of the time, it's where I had this conversation with someone today about fear. And for me, it's like everything I've ever been afraid of just about has happened. And it really, when that happens, it makes you reevaluate what you're not that you never ever stop being afraid of things. But once you have enough things happen, you realize there's just a point of realization where, it's kind of scary, but that's because that's your brain going, have you really thought this through, right? And
damn, that's a lot of smoke.
Yeah, that was amazing, dude. You got some pipes on you, but that's it, right? So I'm kind of one of those guys that if I don't know what I'm supposed to do, I'm not afraid to jump in and figure it out. I'm not afraid to make mistakes, and I'm not afraid to fail. It's how I've done everything, and I think overall I've done okay. So,
There you go.
yeah. I mean, you guys jumped in and did. I mean, you guys jumped in and did a online YouTube show, right? I'm sure you.
We're still learning.
Exactly, and it never stops. And, I mean, that's a deep end jump in of itself, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
So okay, so last time I did this, David was here. I'm gonna have to kidnap him at some point. Give my regards.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
Messaged me earlier. He's got a family emergency today. Can't make it.
No, it's okay. I understand. I'll have to bug pick on him and abduct him at some point to do a podcast on his own because he's a cool dude and in his own right he's a really cool dude. So,
About a week or so to get take care of business, and you should be back up to speed again.
no, it's cool. So I should ask. I think I'll ask this because you guys have been doing like kind of like the equivalent of a talk show educational program every week, so Jason, you're kind of like the third guy into this, right? Was that the plan? Like, you to be the substitute, or did you
He's
just?
been there though since the beginning. He was on our very first episode.
Yeah, I know. As a guest, this is why I'm actually. That's actually why I'm asking him this question. Like, because he was a guest on the first show, and then when on the show I did, he was there. He's been on a few other ones too. So how did you? Did they rope you in, or was this, have you gotten a ton out of this?
Well, I think after the first show, when I didn't completely break down and start, bawling in the middle of the show or anything, I had told Katie afterwards, because she said, it's a lot of work, putting the show together and everything. I was like, if you ever need help, just, holler at me, let me know. I'm not doing anything. And so after that, she was like, okay, well, you could be a guest host sometime. And then it went from you could be a guest host sometime to where, okay, you're the perfect host now.
Yes. Yeah, it's the thing. It's been slow. It's like they drew you into the dark side, right? Or like little by little. Next thing you know, it's like I'm in this show. How did this happen? But
now you're a guest host. Now you do some of the editing.
But
you just keep throwing stuff at him.
Yes, that's all right. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to ask this again. I know I asked this, I think, on the first time I tried to do this. Yes, folks, this is a re-recording because my last computer was evil. This computer is also evil, but it's only semi-evil, right? So no, the way I tried to record these normally, like in the past, the other computer could do it most of the time. But this computer can't do it at all. I have this really weird robotic voice when I try to record with the app that I was using now. It has the processing power to chat, but not the processing power to record, which is why I'm using external recorders. So they're really good recorders. I just hope no one tries to give me a phone call in the middle of this, because that would be terrible. But that's, besides all that, I mean, besides that risk, it hasn't been a terrible system all the way around. But I noticed, like with me, like doing a podcast, I learned an awful lot about audio. I learned an awful lot how to edit sound and stuff like that. So I guess from that end, I mean, has this helped you guys in your writing?
It's funny how you just say that you learned a lot about audio, because that's Katie's absolute favorite thing ever.
Oh, is it your favorite thing ever? The look on her face just says, I hate you computers. I hate you all.
I end up having problems with audio sync on every video we do. Drives me nuts.
Yeah, no, what do you use for your video software? I know I'm not going to help you do your show. I'm just asking to try to help.
When I started, I was using Movie Maker.
Okay.
I would download the MP4 to Movie Maker, and then I would try and edit from there, and that was just a headache and a half.
Movie Maker's
and
not a
then
good
after
program.
that, I learned about Lightworks,
Okay.
which you can use for free. But Lightworks was the one that was giving me all the problems. Every time I would upload my MP4 from YouTube, I would get these weird sync issues halfway through the editing too. I would start perfect with the video and the audio, and about halfway through as I'm cutting stuff and moving things around, then everything would just completely lose sync. And I'd have to start all over again.
That's why the evil like twitch glare at the audio.
And I heard it was an issue between the frame rates, because I guess YouTube's downloading isn't completely perfect, I guess.
No, it's not. It's easy. It's much easier to upload than download with YouTube. It really is. They made it difficult on purpose, and as a result, sometimes there are issues. And yeah.
And depending on who edits the video, you know, if I've got it, Lightworks is the only thing I've got other than Movie Maker. What you use?
I use Final Cut Pro over here because I'm on a Mac, and you know
I'm jealous.
Really don't have any kind of complaints. Yeah, Final Cut is just
amazing.
It's a fantastically smooth program.
Really no. The only reason I don't have a Mac, honestly, is because I don't do movies right now. If I was doing movies, it would be a Mac. It would be that program, because that program is the
very evil Macs.
Well, no, yeah, they might be filthy dirty, and honestly, truth be told, outside of video, there's no real difference anymore between a Mac and a PC. There really isn't anymore. But videos, they still have an edge, and that program is why. That I was using when I did video stuff, Adobe Premiere Pro, which is a competent program. It's better than Movie Maker by a huge shot, but it's not the most user interactive.
Boy, that's an understatement, but you know, completely true. You know, when I first started doing any kind of video editing, it was just for doing little movie trailers for, you know, friends who had businesses and things like that. And at the time, we only had our studio PC, and it was a big beefed up PC we used for photo editing. And so we bought the Adobe Creative Suite, and it had Premiere Pro, and I was like, okay, you know, I finally have this amazing video editor, only to find out that learning how to use it was like a whole college course in itself. Oh
no, absolutely. Okay, so I'll tell you the horror story how I had to learn how to use it. This is beautiful. So I was in Arizona. I took a college course, a magazine course. So we had this idea that we would do video interviews with a green screen, and we would put the packages together. So first year I was there was two people kind of took over the program in a way they shouldn't have. But they basically put all the responsibility on themselves. So naturally, in the fall, when I came back to do the second year as an editor, they didn't do the video, but then you looked at it and you saw why. The guy that did the filming put the green screen all over the place. The worst nightmare, and this you cannot. He's laughing because he knows how horrible that really is. There were literally shots when we put in we put the background in, that the person was cut in half because of where the green screen ended, and it was brutal. It actually made it. And then the other one that still to this day made me laugh so hard. So they would do films outside of the auditorium where there's windows and an exit, so they covered that in the green screen. What they did not take into account was at night when the cars leave, you could see these lights go off. So it didn't matter what background you put in there. You have these lights just come out of nowhere for no reason. And so it was the first. So we looked at that and we're like, well, there's no way to fix that. It's there. You can't undo that. So we made a decision. The first decision was we keep this just as the green screen, because it honestly, legitimately, was the lesser of two evils. It was either that, or people disappeared, or there was ghosts. Or our set was haunted. One or the other. She's laughing, right? Because our set was haunted. So, but I learned an awful lot about Premiere Pro doing this, because we would play with it every day. And the other thing about it too was the computer I was using was so archaic. It was literally, I swear to God, and now trying to use it, I literally think there was some divine presence keeping that machine functioning, because it was so old and so ready to die, right? I was like, there were days the thing would load, and you could just tell it was struggling. It was like somebody around the age of 90 trying to remember what they were supposed to do today. And I know it sounds incredibly terrible, but if you ever seen it,
happens with you, Katie, sometime?
Yeah. Every day.
What am I? No, that you, it's different. You, it's just because you're overloaded and because you got like a zillion things to do. And you're like, oh crap, what am I supposed to do today? Because I got this list that's 3,000 miles long, and so what piece of it can I eat today? All right, it's you. It's just because you got your show, your book career, your kids. I mean, no one would have time with that schedule.
Jason just thinks I'm old.
Oh, come on.
Oh, Jason swears that I'm like 90 years old.
So I feel like we totally derailed your question.
No, that's you know what that no.
Before I started bagging on for beer.
No, hey, I went on a tangent too. I got to tell my horrible Premiere Pro story. I mean, seriously. No, what the heck? Oh no. Okay, nothing big. Thank God. One time only deal, and I can actually edit that out. But no, it's just it happens, right? You I mean, the thing about podcasts is they go organically wherever they're going to go. You guys are in charge of the conversation. I'm just occasionally going to steer you in a direction, and it's like, let's see where this goes. Because that's...
Well, that's kind of why we did the show the way we did. We didn't want it to be, hard interviews and, putting people in the spotlight. We wanted it to be kind of like, I don't know, The View.
Yeah.
But for authors, just kind of chit-chat about what's going on in the indie world. What's the face, Jason?
Well, I don't actually watch The View. I didn't imagine... I guess I don't envision it being like our show, but is it kind of like our show?
I don't know. Hold on. If you wore a wig and you put some lipstick on and just like a gossipy thing once in a while, maybe. I think your show actually honestly has more substance. I don't think that's a slight. I'm gonna give you guys credit where credit is due. You guys actually teach stuff and are relevant and you are actually engaging. I cannot say I ever felt that way about The View. But The View, I can honestly say it's like it might be for some people. It's I'm not one of those people. If I'm gonna watch, I do enjoy it, like the conversation part of it though, like where people are guests and they talk and there's a back and forth. That's what people want. What people like, because I like knowing, for example, that the person I'm talking to is real. Right, and there's actually substance to that person, because the biggest thing I really okay, I'm not gonna name the name of the creator. When I lived in Phoenix, there was a Comic-Con, and most people you meet that are actually famous and that have done stuff are actually really cool. Most of them are really legit, sweet people, but every once in a while you meet a dick, and I pull no punches. I'm just being nice so that if in case this airs and I have a million hits, that I don't get my bank account go after from this person. But anyway, I was a fan of his work, and so I go to his table, and he spent the whole time on his phone. So I never even got to talk to him. Right? I bought the one book that looked interesting to me, so it was $3. So I know I wasn't a big investment, but he didn't take the time to talk to me. And it was really quick interaction because he was just, very distant. And so I went across to the comics thing behind it, and then next thing I know, the guy I'm talking to, the older comics, and the artist, there was this big back and forth argument between the two of them right in front of me. I was like, that was my first impression of the guy. So I mean, I guess in one sense he was completely real, but I don't like, people like the fact that when you're talking and doing these kind of things, is that the person feels approachable, genuine, real, because that more than anything else in a world, especially U.S. media in particular, is probably the phoniest things I've ever seen every single day. The television is about as real as a popcorn fart, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I'm being nice there. I don't know. It's not. There's nothing of any substance anymore on television. So it's almost
a popcorn fart.
A popcorn fart. Yeah. I don't know. I've heard that term somewhere in there. I don't know why it popped into my head the way it did there. But I just watched television today, and it just doesn't feel real. But if I'm doing a back and forth, I think that's why talk shows like late night talk shows do well. Because there's a one-on-one interaction usually between the host and the guest. Now sometimes it's that too is very much showbiz, but the best conversations are the ones that feel very real, raw, organic. Way back before I was born, there was this very famous conversation between Andy Kaufman and Jerry Lawler, and I felt really, even though that was staged, the host wasn't in on it, so it felt very real. And just even some good one-on-one conversations. I mean, Robin Williams, like, time he's on a talk show, it was great because you just realize that he really was a mile-a-minute jokester, and it was like, this is who he is, and it was great. I think it adds something to people, you know. So.
Well, and I think that's kind of the idea behind Spilling Ink is not just to offer educational material for people and entertainment, but it's for a chance for people to get to know either the authors that they like or fellow authors in the community or other artists or publishers or whoever we're chatting with. Is that we don't script it out. A lot like you say, if there's a dead spot in the conversation, we might bring something up and say, hey, tell us about this or tell us about that. But yeah, people don't want just scripted stuff anymore. They don't want you to read off a script or a teleprompter. They want to see who you really are, with for better or worse. And regarding the author or artist that you met at the Comic-Con that you had an unpleasant experience with, a good friend of my wife and I always says, if when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And it's something that took a little while to sink in with me, but it's very true. Sometimes these people that we admire, sometimes maybe idolize, when you meet them in person or when you have a chance to speak with them, you can really see who they are outside the limelight, and that might not always be a good thing. So I think that's important for all of us to realize that even if someone is famous or even if someone is someone we look up to, they might not be worthy of being on a pedestal because they're just going to be a person like anybody else, and if that person happens to be an a-hole, then that's just the way it is.
You can swear on my podcast. It's okay. It just I should mention it.
That's not safe.
Well, it's
I'm very well behaved.
I'm not.
It's okay.
I'm nice
Wait.
to the show.
Wait. Does that mean? Oh God, I'm the adult. We're screwed. We're screwed. We're screwed. It's just like I don't know if you ever listen to a podcast. I mean, I've had some important conversations, like the merits of Darkwing Duck on my podcast. So I'm just letting you know, like, my podcast is very, very serious or something like that. I don't know.
Katie, I tried to get the band of dystopian authors and fans to give me one of those sweatshirts, and they said they're not being made anymore. And I feel like every time I see you in it, it's just like irks me a little bit because I want it. So that's my favorite one.
That's a badass. It is a badass sweatshirt there.
It really is.
Yeah, it really is. So
you just got the t-shirts and whatever orders. You just got to jump on it because this was like, I've had this for about a year now, and the second they posted it, I was like, sign me up, I want this sweatshirt.
Yeah, I'm sad now. I know this exists and I can't have it. Oh.
See, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Maybe, if it was out there, maybe I wouldn't want it so bad, but now I know it's unattainable. I must have it.
So,
yeah, you know what? And I love that group too. I really do. They are the sweetest people.
Fantastic.
Yeah. They have music bands?
No, it's a Facebook group that is geared towards dystopian authors and readers. They are really, really supportive of the indie author community. They're always doing giveaways. They're always doing book specials. They're always highlighting authors. They're just wonderful people. They went to Utopia one time and asked everyone, if you have swag you want to send it to us. We'll put it on our table. We'll share you with them while we're there.
That's very cool.
They do interviews.
I'll have to look them up actually at some point real soon.
Yeah, it's a really, really cool group.
Actually,
fun people.
But before we continue, Jason, I put you on the spot on your show. I almost feel like you should do the same thing on mine. Light just went dark. It's almost like the moment I said your name, just like, Jason, No, it didn't work that time, but that's okay.
Well, you know, this used to be one of my kids' bedrooms, and they had this terrible habit of leaving the lights on whenever they'd go to school, and I got so sick of coming upstairs to turn them off. But so now it's on a 20-minute motion sensor, and since the sensor can't see me, I've gone dark. But I kind of like it. It's like mood lighting.
Yeah, I know. The moment I said, now you just need like the romantic music to go with it, and you're set, right? Anyways.
No darkness, my old friend.
That's right. Well, I was gonna say I put you on the spot when we were doing log lines.
Make a great little excerpt.
Yeah.
Jason, just to go off topic completely here, did you see the little snippet I posted on Spilling Ink's YouTube page?
No, when?
Oh my god, okay, you have to go to the YouTube page and just look at, it's the little trailer that shows up when you first visit the page.
Oh, shit.
And it's just us doing the intro with you interrupting.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it was so funny.
Something that might have happened.
Well,
Josh, I want to hear your one line.
I get that. You kind of went in and out there. Can you repeat that?
Oh, yes, I would like to hear your one-line pitch for your book.
Oh, it's The Matrix meets Indiana Jones.
Ah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
that's what we talked about when we had Josh on our show.
that's right. No, I gave him the opportunity to do it with me. So I'll go one step deeper. In the future, we have the cloud today. So I had this idea that the cloud tomorrow will be our archaeology. So
the what? The cloud tomorrow?
The cloud today is our storage system for information, technology, and wonders, and people stuff. Tomorrow, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, when this will be replaced by whatever it's replaced with, right? This will be an archive of history. New archaeology.
Okay.
Right?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yes. It also has zombie mobsters, impending superflus, daemons, wizards, and a pony, because at my sister's request, a pony, a unicorn that farts rainbows that are actually advertisements. Spam has evolved in the future. That was my sister's request, and it actually works for the story. I figured out how to do it, so I have a pretty wild imagination. So
It sounds very unique. I like it.
yeah.
Well, since we're doing one-liners here, and by the time this posts live, I think we'll be allowed to share it. Jason, can you give me a one-liner on your dragon story?
Ooh.
I'll tell you what. I was actually thinking about this on my drive home, and then I got sidetracked by going to Meyer. Still working on it. So no.
It's okay. So here's what I'll do.
It's a story.
Oh, it's a story? About?
It's a story about a boy and a girl and a dragon. Dun dun dun!
It's missing something. I'll give you an A for effort. A for effort.
What about you, Katie? Have you thought of a story yet to write?
Well, I've got the idea right now. I haven't got the pitch quite right. Actually, I was on with Alexia not too long ago. I was like, my story's stupid, I don't like it. And she was kind of talking me down, so I guess it's not as stupid as I thought it was.
Okay, so talking you down to you.
No.
So you guys.
I don't know. I totally lost the audio here.
Yeah, so did I for just a second there.
Okay, you're back now.
I'm
Can you
back.
say something?
Katie's gone.
Katie's gone.
Katie's gone. So there's a lot.
WTF, Katie dog.
Yeah. So while Katie's playing with her audio settings.
This portion of Josh's podcast is brought to you by. This portion of Josh's broadcast is brought to you by Golden Double Stuffed Oreos.
That's right. Because they're creamy and they're filling, and and they're keeping Katie from turning red and head imploding. Check your Skype audio settings. It's in your conversation. All right. No, hold on. Oh, here is it. Call. Check out call audio settings. And then say something and see what's going on. I'll tell you where the mic and stuff's coming from. I've done this once or twice before.
Hi, Katie.
She's hating life in the world right now. She's got this evil look. I will slay you and smite you, my computer. A funny story. My dad has his own business, right? So he was really pissed off at his computer, so he actually smashed it because he could afford to get a new one. Just drove him nuts to such a point. Like it drove him nuts to such a. Sorry.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. Oh, I heard you. Do it again. What the heck?
Hello. Hello.
Hello. We hear you.
So, did he smash the computer like Office Space style, bring it out to a field?
No, he threw it out. He threw it outside the second story of the building he was in. Crashed it hard. Yeah, no. See, when you have, if you have the money to do that, it's oddly therapeutic. If you don't have the money to do it, then you shouldn't. But if you do, you know, you it's okay. Yeah. So this portion of our product is brought to you by Fizzy Sody Pop because it makes you fizzy.
Pepsi. Oh, diet. What the hell? Diet?
Diet Wild Cherry Pepsi.
That's right.
You just ruined it with that diet crap.
That's all right.
Not all of us have a salad ass, all right? I've got a regular pop ass. It's not good.
I ate some salad today. You don't know that joke, do you?
I know. I don't know the joke, but that's not what cracked me up about that. It's like, oh, okay, this is a long running joke.
I'm like, way to go, hubby.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
And the lights come back on. No, it's a. But yeah. So. I don't know what happened to the. I should be the adult here, but I really don't want to be.
It's so fun to be the adult.
Well, because this is my show, I'm supposed to have some kind of direction and stuff like that, but I don't know. This is
I
what.
gotta remember who we're bringing on tomorrow. Set anything up either, and that's another reason we're organic too, because we really don't plan as much as we should. We kind of just wing it. We're like, hey, you're an author. Let's talk about it.
Fair enough. Okay, that I will admit that's probably something that needs to be worked on for future episodes at some point. And maybe
there are some episodes I will admit, because I do all the booking, and there are a couple of episodes where I brought in certain people that I know have specific things they're good at, and I try and pair them together. So, for instance, next Saturday, Jason and I will be interviewing two authors who have special interest in Amazon's advertising platform.
Yeah. Yes, and I'm definitely going to be checking that out. By the time this airs, let's assume this will be aired probably sometime late February, early March. So do you guys have things booked that far in advance at all at this point, or no?
We're booked into February right now. March yet.
Okay.
First
Yeah.
one.
And I'm actually talking with a group of authors who all contribute to a series of anthologies. The Tales from the Canyons of the Damned, which is a horror anthology run by Daniel Smith, and Samuel Peralta, who has a hand in a lot of different things. He also works with him as well in the Clones anthology, and I've been reaching out to these guys because a lot of them have a lot of experience in the publishing world, and we're going to be getting them on the show in the next couple months here, and that should be fun to get some,
That's cool.
some fresh new takes on everything.
So, okay, I'm going to have to pin you down. Besides me, who was your favorite guest?
Katie?
Oh, let's see. Favorite guests. That's really hard.
No, I'm
I
sure.
mean, Josh Pantaloresco is my favorite.
Yeah, totally.
What did you say, Jason?
Josh Pantaloresco.
I have to admit, that was probably one of my favorite episodes. You and Armand. Great information. It was such a good, informative, and funny episode, too. We all had a good time.
Well, yeah. Well, again, just Me and Armin and myself are used to talking. Like you like we were very comfortable with it. You could tell because I do podcasts, he does podcasts, and it's just something that it makes it easier. Actually, that's a really good question. How do you guys? I mean, I'm sure there's been a couple authors you've interviewed where it's been harder to get them out of their shells, right? So far doing this, we haven't met that yet. You will at some point. Do you guys have any particular tricks to try to actually bring things out? Or do you if you know someone's like, I'm not going to say socially awkward is necessarily the right thing, but not necessarily comfortable in front of the camera, do you do it?
Well, okay, so I haven't been on every show, obviously. I'm only on here and there, but I have found that if you're joking around with somebody and almost picking on them a little bit, they'll kind of laugh at themselves and at you or pick back at you, and sometimes that can really help to start a dialogue. We had an author on who was not really awkward at all, but just not extremely talkative, so I kind of picked on him the entire show until he was finally firing back at me, but we ended up having a lot of fun with it because he was really cool. But
was that the one who he was the typical guy? The stereotypical? Yes, I love that.
Yes. But some people, he really did. And some people are just more quiet than others. Some people aren't super outgoing.
Well, no, because it's a balance. Like today, like the biggest challenge as an author today is you're not so closed off from the public anymore. You can't be, because the fact of the matter is there's just so many mediums and platforms that people almost expect if you're going to do something or trying to get people's attention is a big part of what we do today. So you almost have to be willing to go out there and do things, right? So.
Oh yeah. When I was a young man, much younger man, I really idolized Stephen King and Dean Koontz and Michael Crichton, probably my top 3 favorite authors when I was young, and they always seemed so dark and mysterious in their own cool little author world, and you only got glimpses of their books. But now, if I want to see what James Rollins is up to or Katie Salidas is up to or whatever, I just pop on Facebook and Twitter, and you can usually see daily, if not, multiple updates daily and see what's going on. And I think it's kind of fun because, that's the whole idea behind any of this, is getting to know people a little bit better.
Exactly. So we've talked to shows. So you got an evil dragon story with a we'll say a B- one-liner at this moment in time coming out, right? I'll give you A for effort,
We're actually, it's an anthology.
Yeah.
It's the Spilling Ink crew, Alexia Purdy and Jenna Johnson.
Jenna Johnson!
And, Michael, too. We brought Michael in.
Who's Michael?
Really?
Michael K. Rose?
Yeah, you only talk to him all the time. You and him swapping his dragon porn.
Oh yeah, I can include you on these group messages if you want, Jeff.
Sure. Go ahead.
I still haven't recovered from that picture.
It's okay.
Oh.
Just want you to know, whenever you mention shifter anything, that's what pops into my head, is that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I'm like, why is Katie writing this?
Well, then last night I got to write the awkward dragon Nookie scene.
Awkward dragon Nippy scene?
What is Nookie for those of us who are under 40?
Yeah.
Oh, shut up, dude. See, he's always picking on me.
Well, yeah, but that's because he likes you.
Okay, is that what that means?
Yeah, it usually means they like you.
We are speaking on each other.
Totally. See, but in the school, but actually, it's not that much different between when you're kids and you're adults. The same response is just to hit them, and then you're friends. It just seems to be how that works. She's like,
You can't reach me.
But you only reach through the screen.
well, that's what. See, at some point you will be at the same convention, and then you can just he just won't let himself be in a room by himself with you. You come back and just, what happened to your eye? I fell down the stairs. Okay, fell down the stairs.
It's
If only we
funny
could
that
get you to
you said that.
If only.
Yeah, right? Well, yeah, it's funny that you say that because everyone who's contributing to this anthology it's a dragon shifter anthology. So it's going to be some part fantasy, maybe a little bit of romance, some good action and violence. But most of the people who are contributing are going to be at the Phoenix Comic Con,
which is an awesome show.
Year when it.
I've done two of those shows. It's my favorite con in the States by a good shot.
It's worth going to.
It's a little smaller than Calgary's con, but it's more organized. And by a little smaller, I mean only a little bit. It's not like a huge difference. The comic scene down there is a little cruder than the comic scene up here. But besides that, it's there's a lot of good people in Phoenix. I really like that con a lot. It's my favorite States con. For me personally, I've done San Diego, I've done Detroit, and I've done Phoenix. My family's in Detroit, so when I go to Detroit, I look for excuses to go to Detroit because my family's there. If my family wasn't there, I wouldn't. But
I was gonna say you might be the first person in history that's ever said I look for excuses to go to Detroit.
That's so true, except I have a good reason.
And I live in Michigan.
No, it's fair, but I have a good reason to. If my family wasn't there, then no, I wouldn't go at all. But
you want to go to witness true desperation.
Well, no, okay. There's lots of places I've been to. I've seen that, not just Detroit. But I don't need to go to Detroit for that. But no, it's one of those things where my grandmother still lives there, and she's raised me like a mom. So whenever I get a chance to see her, I go. So I look for reasons because ultimately for me it's I'm doing business, but reality I'm just there because I like spending time with my family, and that's where they are, and I don't get the opportunities otherwise to go see my family. So that's pretty much why I go. I also know some good people down there too, but yeah, no, honestly, for me, a convention I'd like to do that I haven't done that would be Seattle. Emerald City Comic Con I've heard is really, really good. I have friends that go to that one every year, and they tell me I should go. It won't be this year for me, probably next year, because I'll have 5 books to my name the next year, and I'll be like, that seems like I could justify going in, at least giving it a shot. San Diego, everybody should go to once, although as a spectator, not as a vendor. As a spectator, it's an amazing experience. As a vendor, I feel it's just too big. You would get lost in the shuffle. Yeah, your superpower, Jason, is you can actually stay still for long periods of time. I do not want to play poker with you ever. Ever. You clean me out. I'd be like, you have a good hand? Just blank stare.
You can't see his poker face.
No, he has this ability to actually stay in one spot for a long period of time and be like, you can just see him with a poker hand, just holding his hand, just not moving. And everybody around him would get really nervous because they wouldn't know if he had a good hand, a bad hand, anything, like nothing. 10? Just drops a whole bunch of money in there.
I'm used to hiding in a corner, pretending I'm not there. So I would really love to go to the Phoenix Comic Con.
It's worth it.
Unfortunately, I'm in Michigan, so when all my other author buddies are there with this anthology we're making, I'm going to be stuck in Michigan, even though the right thing to do would be for them to band together and give me a plane ticket to come out.
Honestly,
Did you hear that, John, Alexia, I Michael, and David?
Well, so no, I'm just saying, I had a very terrible December with the way things worked out financially for me, or I'd be going to Phoenix this year. I still might end up going to Phoenix this year, but the stars would have to align just right. But it's the one con in the States I love going to. There's, like I said, if you can figure out a way to do it, man, make it happen. I'm sure Katie.
Well, it's like you just said. If the stars happen to align just right, that's kind of like on the top of my frivolous list. Outside of paying for the car and the mortgage, So if something happens and I can swing it, then I definitely want to be out there, because I have been chatting with these guys and gals for long enough now that it's like, I really just want to meet them and hang out with them, because Katie and Alexia and everybody else are so much fun to talk to, and because like you meet people online and you chat with them and it's great and you feel like you know the people, but no, there's nothing like that face-to-face meeting, being able to hang out.
Absolutely not, and there's nothing like like the random acts of merriment and mischief you get into later as a result too. Some people.
Dude, we're old. Come on, man.
No, that don't mean squat.
Oh.
I don't mean squat.
Kids and great responsibilities. Yeah, I can see us getting up to some fun out there.
No.
I do love Arizona. I have an uncle that actually has a house in Phoenix, so I would have a place to stay, and I've been out there quite a few times now.
It's the right time to go. No, like next time I go, I may have promised to myself, because I lived there for a short time, but I made some really good friends there. Next time I go, I'm gonna make it a point to actually go see them for a long for some time, because I feel like it's overdue. So I want to actually make an effort. I still might be ending up going down in Katie's neck of the woods in the summertime or early fall. I have a plan for that, a master plan for this. So I got to promote 3 books somehow.
Couch guest.
No, I won't even need to be a couch guest. It's the best part. So, but it's just one of those things where I'd like to go do it. I went through some really hard times when I was in Arizona too. And a lot of those people were really good to me when they didn't have to be. And I'm a big believer in being thankful, because I realize in this life nobody owes you anything. But the fact that these people went out of their way to help me, however they helped me, meant a lot. And I honestly feel like I should at some point go and properly thank them. That might seem a little weird, but that's just an honest feeling I have, and it's something I want to do. Like I said,
sounds like you definitely have some good stories from the past that you could tell.
Oh yeah.
You'd be another guy I'd love to sit down and hang out with and chat.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to wind the podcast down. I'll tell you a good story about something that happened to me in December. It will make you laugh, right? It will make you laugh. It legit happened to me right before New Year's Eve. So, I'll tell you the story behind. I don't know if you saw on my little thing. Someone tried to blackmail me. I'll actually tell you the full story about that.
Nice.
Yes. It was the weirdest thing ever, but it happened. I don't know what to say. So, but before I go, let's do this. Katie, your next book, whatever's coming out next or what just came out, you promote that. Jason, then you promote your stuff, and then close by promoting the show. Sound good?
Alright, now when did you say this was going to come out?
Probably March. Probably March. Yeah.
Okay, so the next book that I've got coming out actually comes out this month in January. So we're talking January 17th. Mated, which is officially it's the second book in the Old Town trilogy, or the Old Town Pack series, which is an offshoot of my Immortalis series. And this one is all about Brady, my self-proclaimed sex god, who will never settle down, ever. He is enjoying life as the second son in the Old Town Pack, which means he's basically the enforcer. He's not the alpha, so he doesn't have the responsibility. He gets to have all the fun, and he's also the strongest man in the pack. And he ends up running into Rachel, a woman who was sold into slavery as a broodmate by her father. And when he finds her beaten and left for dead, something changes in him. And he decides that he's going to protect her to the ends of the earth, no matter if that causes a pack war or whatever it will be.
Okay. Mr.
So that's the next one coming out.
All right, Mr. Jason.
So I'm working on a collection of short fiction of my own. It's going to be a couple novellas and a handful of short stories. They're going to be everything from horror thrillers to kind of paranormally romances to even one kind of tearjerker drama. But they're all going to be in Jason Lavelle style, so it's going to be dark and devious. And I'm hoping that by the end of this year, that I will be able to have that out 8 or 9 stories in it, so it should be some good reading material for everyone.
All right. So I think we should have Katie close us out. Spilling Ink. Pitch it.
Spilling Ink? Well, Spilling Ink is the weekly indie author talk show. As I said before, I think of it as kind of like The View for authors. We hang out, we chat about what's going on in the indie world. It's basically just a fun hour-long hangout session, and we introduce people to new authors, what's going on. We teach. There's always something new to learn each week from whichever authors we bring on, from marketing to formatting to what's selling, what's not selling. And we're always looking for new people to interview, so check out our Spilling Ink Facebook page and our Spilling Ink YouTube channel.
All right. And that, as we say.
And that is Spilling Ink. Check them out, like I said, every weekday at YouTube, where you can check them out, do interviews. I was on one of the earlier episodes. If you want to try to have fun and find it and figure out how log lines work, check that one out. But check out their more recent stuff. It's a great resource for writers. You should check it out. You should check out both their books as well. They both mentioned them at the end there. Check them out. They're both great. All right. I'm going to end this podcast a little bit differently today. So the women did a little protest about, not a little protest, a large protest, I should say, about a week and a half ago across Canada, states, everywhere. Washington was huge. Like I said, the goal of this regime is to divide. But I also need to remember something too, and this is another real big key to dealing with whatever this is. There are just amazing people, period. When it comes to women in my life, honestly, I can say this. They're almost who I exclusively talk to these days, to be honest. My publisher, Justine Dowsett, is amazing. My editor, Kristen Denbo, is really, really good. My soon-to-be editor, Tasia Morgan, is amazing. Florence Chan is one of the most professional people I've ever met. Like I said, that's just my work, my regular work, and that's amazing. My grandmother is literally the toughest person I know. Not even close. She still kick all our butts. One of the most amazing stories, and taught me basically how to think and fight for myself. I owe that to my grandmother. Love you, Nana. My sister, who's more like my grandmother than she'd like to admit. Both same thing, independent, tough, strong, and she was there for me when I never expected her to be. Still is. I love you very much, sis. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And honestly, yeah, like I said, I can list a whole bunch more women. My friends, some of the best people I know in this life are the women in my life. And not just because I know them, it's because they are amazing. And like I said, it's just one of those things where I just look at the grand scheme of things and kind of question the sanity of it. But anywho, that'll do it. Thank you very much for listening. Buy my books. Buy my clients' books. Greg Louis' Battle Stations is his current release. Chris Mars' latest release is Intersections. If you like World War II, Horatio Hornblower and Submarines, check out that series, Craig's series. If you like horror, Ouija boards, magic, and certain doom, check out Chris Mars' stuff. All right. That will do it. Stay inspired. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, which I really don't know what that is at this point. And try to have yourself a good one. Remember, we're all in this together.
Josh.